3. Oh, okay. Hey, if you couldn't tell, I just got impaled. My roommate says people generally go to the hospital after getting stabbed. So, I took that to mean I should watch General Hospital. Look, I don't want to go anywhere. Plus, the hospitals are full of drama. I don't want to deal with that. Let's just watch this instead, and hopefully, this will fix itself.
Bobby?
Just hold me.
What's wrong?
Everything, me, my life.
This was exactly what I was trying to avoid. Well, I'm here now, so we might as well carry on. Meet Bobby. She's having a panic attack. She's married to a guy named Tony. But their marriage is falling apart, and she's hoping to start a relationship with Damien. This guy with the mullet.
I need to know if my marriage is over. Can I count on her?
That is the stare of a man who's pretending to look conflicted. Our next story starts up at the dining hall of a nursing home, where these two sit down for what, in hindsight, is a dinner date, but really just felt like a business meeting. This lady, Catherine, sits her fiancé down. His name is Ned, not Fulmer, but they are similar, and begins this huge sales pitch.
Now that Lucy brought up the subject of deception and who is going to be in charge, I think we need to face the facts.
Which are?
She's not the right person for the job.
And you are?
Well, I have to admit that I am looking through the world through a new pair of eyes.
Look at those faces she practiced all night in the mirror before giving this speech. So Ned is like, "Cut the crap, lady! What do you want?" And she goes,
Running deception. As president, I have absolutely no problem with Lucy working for me. But if I am going to make this company what it could be, I need to be in charge. I hope I have your support.
Hey babe, wanna have a romantic night out?
"Sure, babe, I know a nursing home with great cream of celery soup."
Hey, Lucy sucks, right?
Huh?
Support me for company president, babe.
The next plotline involves two police officers entering a black family's home. Oh no. Apparently this lady, Miss Ward, just lost her son, and the police commission and this detective, named Garcia, which is the most detective name I've ever heard.
Ma'am, we understand this must be a very difficult time for you. So we figure the faster we get this murder solved, the better it'll be for everyone.
Faster you get this solved? This question and answer section is 75% of this episode. It's so long. But not as long as this intro. Oh my god. How many people are in this show? Hey, is that Joe Goldberg from You? Also that music! It sounds like the stuff companies play when they put you on hold.
Hello, this is a hospital in your general area, and my name is Lucy. How can I help you?
Hello, I'm calling to make an appointment. I'm needing a specialist to check out this stab wound I got.
One moment, please.
Oh, I hate hospitals. Back to the plot. Miss Ward begins reading lines on a teleprompter about just how awesome her son, Bradley, was. He was some kind of public figure, a man of the people, always sticking it to the rich folk, and apparently he had something against the concerned citizens against taxes. And this matters because
there are plenty of those in every city, especially the people who don't have any children in the school system.
Casting themselves as financially responsible, they cripple the generation that will someday govern. They've got them in Philly, too, and they're tough to fight.
they really stayed on that point. Maybe they were commenting on something. Oh, hey, yeah, this guy is here. He's Miss Ward's grandson and probably Bradley's kid. His name is, the show doesn't give him one. I'll just call him Salim. Anyway, blah blah blah, a lot of people wanted Bradley dead because he's an American hero. She also says this, which to me sounds like nothing.
Well, I was just trying to give you a picture of how the situation was in those days.
They talk about wrapping up this thing. Thank God. But this guy decides to play Columbo.
No, of course, I understand. We will stop, but I would like to cover one other subject before we do. Edward Quartermain.
Oh God, not Edward Quartermain, bring that up. We'll be here for another 2 hours. From this point on, the video will be kind of chaotic. We'll be bouncing around through characters and plot twists every few minutes or so. So I got this chart to keep everything in order. There are 3 major plot points this episode. There's plot A, right here, which is the affair plot. Plot B, the business date. And plot C, ACAB. Also, I jotted down some bullet points of some character names, plot points, and questions that the show brings up. And now, on to the next plot point. Oh, I have to fix this whole stupid board now! So this guy AJ forgot how to stand and subsequently loses in tennis to this lady Keisha. AJ can't let his alpha male status be hurt, so he says this.
You know, I'm gonna tell you something. Here I am, and I'm trying to be a gentleman with you. I'm taking it easy on you the first couple games, and you take advantage of me. You know what the problem is? I didn't get my momentum, though.
Which you never had, because I would have whipped you anyway.
This is supposed to come off as flirty, I think, but AJ just seems so aggressive.
You are pretty good.
So AJ's like, hey, let's go on a die, mean, hustle strangers. And Keisha's all like, okay. Then AJ starts asking a bunch of personal questions for plot reasons, and we get another exposition dump. Whoa. They bond over parental trauma, and AJ does his mandatory look like I'm hiding something face for the 30-second ad that's going to play before this episode airs. Back to plot A, Bobby is slowly advancing into Damien's apartment, ranting about how Tony is just not a good guy, and he blames her for throwing him in jail. Jail? Oh my god, she even changed her lock! No wonder she's in tears! Speaking of tears, this actress is pretty good at crying. Do you think they wet her eyes beforehand, or do you think the director just said something awful before they started shooting? Alright, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, Jacqueline, by the way, don't forget the Minions movie won't release for another 26 years. And action! Anyway, Bobby is all like, Damien, can I count on you? And Damien goes,
Of course you can count on me. I adore you.
and suddenly I'm uncomfortable. Then this happens.
You made me so angry, and still I want you. I'm scared.
I'm scared too.
Of what?
That what you feel towards me is just part of your unhappiness and anger at Tony, and that one day you'll regain your strength and you won't need me anymore.
That won't happen.
Does he sound like a vampire to you? The way he goes, I'm scared too, sounds really vampire-ish to me. Plus his name is Damien, and that's like top 10 vampire. Damien's all like, go home and think about whether or not you really want to date me, which is some sound advice, but somehow he sounds really creepy while telling her this.
What I think we should do is take time to think this through.
So Bobby goes home, and we jump back to plot B, where Catherine keeps crap-talking Lucy, and Ned name drops Edith Piaf.
As Edith Piaf used to say, I try to regret nothing.
Dude, all you had to say is, I don't have regrets. Who in the world is Edith Piaf? Oh, it's the French singer at the end of the BioShock Infinite DLC. Neat. Catherine goes straight into wedding planning, and I was under the impression this was their first date. Also, this scene happens.
Let's talk weddings. I see something small, simple, but elegant.
Works for me.
Good. I would love to have a great big fairy tale affair. But seeing as this will take a few people by surprise, I think that smaller is friendlier. Besides, who wants to wait all that time to plan?
Not me.
Really?
Well, I may not be as hell-bent for leather as you seem to be, but...
Is that how I seem? Whoa. I guess I am. I'm convinced that we are going to have a wonderful and profitable life together.
What is even happening? Catherine's oversold ideas, and Ned's standoffish responses feel like tonal whiplash, and the cuts back and forth are, at best, disorienting. Anyway, Catherine decides she wants to get married this Friday, which I only bring up because it's important later. And Ned talks about what it's like to be a Quartermain. Yeah, that's right. Like Edward Quartermain. Who is he? Why is he important? I don't know. But that means... connected. Speaking of which, welcome back to Plot C, the least exciting plot of this whole episode. Here are the highlights. Bradley was probably killed by Edward and another guy named Jack. Gomez is holding a Cabbage Patch Kid for some reason, and it is confirmed that Keisha is Salim's cousin. Because everyone knows there's only one black family in Philadelphia. Oh, and this means these two plots are connected as well. Plot D. So Keisha and AJ are on a date talking about family expectations when this guy Jason shows up out of nowhere. He's AJ's brother and he just pops up with swelling music as if I'm supposed to know who this is. Also, Jason, your brother is clearly on a date. Go away, you creep! Back to Plot A, we follow Bobby home where she comes face to face with the ultimate evil of the world, Tony.
Well, I just have some news for you. I have no intention of letting you kick me out of my own home.
And this can be the part of the video where I put like an ad read for like Manscaped or something. Tony apparently broke into Bobby's house and decides that he doesn't want a divorce. Bobby doesn't feel safe saying no after what happened to a different woman 17 days ago in this exact situation. By the way, this episode aired June 29th of 1994. On to Plot B? A? Plot A-B? On to Plot A-B, where we get the biggest crossover of the century. Catherine and Damien in the same room. They swap information about their latest schemes, and Catherine takes more time to dunk on Lucy.
How so?
Well, I just explained to him the idea that I felt that Lucy was running deception into the ground, which is exactly what she's going to do if she's left to toy around with it much longer.
God, she doesn't stop! Catherine also takes the time to ask Damien for support on her gatekeep girl boss ambition. Damien brushes her off, and Catherine changes the subject to inviting Damien to her wedding.
I think you won't. I want you there as a witness. I deserve that much.
So stand the back and applaud while you get everything you always wanted. Money, social standing, recognition, power.
That's right. I want you to applaud. Loud and long.
That's not how you invite somebody to your wedding. Back to Plot B, Ned has a flashback to a different wedding where he's wearing a tacky leather jacket.
You have the ring? Would you put it on her, please? Of course.
He's marrying this woman named Marie, who you may assume is dead. Haha, nope, she's alive and they are still married. Bet that Ned Fulmer reference is making a whole lot more sense. Marie's all like, hey, Yeti, let's go on a date Friday.
You and I have a date for Friday evening.
And Eddie's all like, sorry, Dollface.
What's happening on Friday that's so important?
Cut to Plot D? Hey guys, you can't just jump around like that. I get confused very easily. So Jason can't take a hint and joins in on the family expectation talk. He basically says he can't relate, and Keisha's like, wow, that's kinda hot. AJ subtly tells Jason to leave, but the damage is done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a love triangle. Who are you rooting for? Kason, KJ, or incest? Leave your answer in the comments down below. Oh, come on, it's Plot C again. Shouldn't this be over? We talked about Edward, so please stop talking. Look, I'm just gonna skip this. They probably talked about a highway chase or something like that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ward. We're going to stop for now. We certainly wouldn't want to tire you out.
That'll be fine.
Thanks again, man.
I'll show you out.
Thank God it's finally over! Back to Plot A-B, Damien and Catherine say some things that aren't really relevant to this episode. Apparently Catherine stole some stuff from Damien's safe, and that's how she's getting Ned to marry her. It's blackmail! How she did this, the show won't say. Oh, okay, so the one time I want exposition, you don't give it to me. Thanks, General Hospital! Damien makes this face, and apparently these two are friends now. I never knew they were enemies. Stop smiling, you look like a serial killer. Jumping to Plot A, you're not missing much. These two are still fighting. Tony says this.
Well, either you want it out of the marriage or you have so little control over your emotions and body that you let somebody else tell you what you wanted. Either way, you ended it. And then you expect sympathy from me. You're the one that let all this out of control.
Wow, he really is the ultimate evil.
Losing BJ and having our marriage come to this. I'm worrying about Lucas's future. It's killing me.
Wait, BJ? Who's BJ?
For God's sake, Tony, help me.
No, seriously, who's BJ?
No, I tried. I tried more times than I can count, but you didn't want my help. You wanted Damien's.
Guys, who's BJ? You can't just add a random another name in the mix and expect me to follow. The show ends back at Plot B, where Ned proceeds to whisk Marie out of the building, but not before getting spotted by Catherine, who is jealous. Why are you jealous? Aren't you only marrying him for his money? You actually blackmailed him to get where you are. Why are you surprised he's seeing another woman? Now that was General Hospital. I don't think there was one scene that took place in a hospital, which is good. I hate hospitals, but bad because I still got this stab wound. Anyway, I should probably start erasing this board. I have to give it back to the preschool I stole it from. You know, we never found out who killed Bradley.
Because of tomorrow's scheduled ABC News coverage of the O.J. Simpson preliminary hearings, General Hospital will be seen tomorrow at 12 noon.